हेलो गाइस
वेलकम करने तो अपने YouTube चैनल ਤੇ ਦੋਸਤੋ ਅੱਜ ਫੇਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਰਿਐਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਵਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਤੇ ਕੇਰਲਾ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵੇ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦਾ ਟਾਈਟਲ ਹੈ ਟੌਪ 10 ਪਲੇਸਿਸ ਟੂ ਵਿਜ਼ਿਟ ਇਨ ਕੇਰਲਾ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੇਰਲਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਨਵੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਕੇਰਲਾ ਦੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ
10 ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਕੇਰਲਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਭੇਜ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਹਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵੇਖੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ 10 ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ
ਇਹਨਾਂ 10 ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਾਡਾ ਕੇਰਲਾ ਮੁਕੰਮਲ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਘੁੰਮ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੀ ਮੁਕੰਮਲ ਕਰਨਾ start the video.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing amazing. This is David Hoffman from David's Bin here in beautiful Kalika Kerala, India. I am so happy that I traveled to this state. It's amazing. I traveled for 12 beautiful days from Trivandrum, the capital in the south, all the way north to Kasaragod, the very northern tip. We ate lots and lots of spicy food. We saw tons of attractions. We saw wildlife. We went up in the mountains. We went to beaches. I mean, there's so many things to do here. 12 days is not enough, but here are my top 10 places you have to visit in Gautam country when you come.
Up first, we have Kerala's capital and largest city, Trivandrum. The city has a humid, jungle-like climate, which is perfect for growing trees that bear bananas and coconuts, which are a staple in the local cuisine. Trivandrum was an ancient spice trading post dating back to 1000 BC, and those spices are all used to flavor the unique southern Indian food the city is known for. The city is home to one of the most prominent Hindu temples in the world, Balaman Baswami Temple, which also happens to be the world's richest temple. Over $22 billion worth of gold and jewels have been unearthed at the temple, which is also a prominent pilgrimage site. Just remember that only Hindus are allowed to enter. Another prominent location you should visit in the city is the Chalai Bazaar, Kerala's busiest street market. Its lanes are lined with hundreds of vendors who sell meat, vegetables, fruit, jewelry, spices, and much more. If you want to dive into Kerala's art and history, you won't want to miss the Napier Museum and Gardens, a 19th century building that houses an art gallery and archaeological finds from the area. I also recommend Kavalam Beach, which is located roughly 10.5 miles south of the city, and is made up of 3 beaches divided by rocky outcroppings. One of the best ways to pamper yourself in India is to get a haircut and massage at a local barber shop. In Trivandrum, it doesn't get better than Mr. Barber, a small but clean shop with an expert barber who expertly trimmed my hair and beard and gave me one of the best scalp, head, and neck massages of my life. But my favorite thing about Trivandrum is the food. It's one of the ultimate foodie destinations in southern India. From the flaky parotas and the rich and tender beef curry at Good Morning Hotel to the plantain-like Bazam Puri and the meaty and spicy putu curries at Edinaram restaurant. You can't go wrong. I also highly recommend the multi-course banana leaf meal known as Sadai, which you can get at Mother's Veg Plaza, and the Spice Route inspired dishes at the award-winning Villa Maya restaurant. If top-notch chicken is your jam, head over to Kethel's Chicken in Chalai Bazaar, which sells a super spicy chicken fry that is coated in a mouth-watering marinade. Trust me, your stomach and taste buds will thank you. Next up, we have the town of Kilimanur, which is a great day trip option located about 45 minutes drive north of Trivandrum. In Kilimanur, you'll find Vasikyorakada restaurant, a traditional spot that is known for its curries and non-veg food. If you only try one thing, make it the mind-blowing squid toram, which contains tasty pieces of coconut. But I also recommend the chicken liver, duck roast, fried prawns, fish fry, and chicken curry. Outside of Kilimanur is the village of Chayatayamanagar, where you'll have the opportunity to try an authentic local breakfast at Janartha Hotel. The signature dish here is a traditional food called Pazum Kanji. It's a messy, sour, and flavorful rice gruel that you can eat with fish curry, chicken curry, and fish fry. You eat everything with your hands, so don't feel weird about licking your fingers afterward. That's how you show the cooks you really liked it. The main attraction in the area is the Jatuyu Earth Center, a unique nature park that's home to an adventure center, a museum, a cave resort, and the largest bird sculpture on Earth. I recommend taking the cable car up to the concrete statue, which stands 70 feet tall and covers 15,000 square feet in total. If you did a lot of eating beforehand, take the 826 steps back down to burn off some of those calories. The next must-see place in Kerala is the seaside resort town of Varkala. Varkala is a southern Indian paradise and one of the area's biggest tourism hotspots, and it's not hard to understand why. The town's main attractions is the beautiful Varkala Beach, a wide stretch of sand that is bordered by gorgeous red cliffs. On top of the cliffs is the Varkala Promenade, a boardwalk that is lined with restaurants, shops, and cafes. try the cardamom coffee at Coffee Temple Restaurant, and if you need one, get a traditional scarf to wrap around your head at any of the nearby shops. Even though Varkala is very touristy, there's also plenty of opportunities to immerse yourself in the local culture. I recommend taking a tuk-tuk from the promenade to Udara Swami Temple, an ancient Hindu temple that is over 2,000 years old. The temple is dedicated to Lord Vishnu, and you'll also find idols of Gurunda and Hanuman at the entrance of the inner shrine, just off the courtyard. The main point of interest for visitors is the banyan tree, which devotees hang baby dolls from if they want to be blessed with a child. One of the most traditional aspects of Kerala's culture are the temple festivals. You can experience one at several temples in the area, including Kutikatil, Bhadrakali Devi Temple. For the festival, the temple is decked out in thousands of lights, and dozens of musicians march down the parade route in a beautiful Chenda Melam and Band Melam performance. The main highlight is seeing a temple elephant, which is adorned with a bright, colorful idol and represents a god. Of course, you can't visit Varkala without visiting its street food stalls. You can't go wrong with one of the fluffy and doughy tata dosas, which pair perfectly with the coconut-infused chicken toram and the steamed rice flour dish called putu. There's also a delicious spicy omelet, which makes you feel like you're having breakfast and dinner in the same meal. The next place you have to visit in Kerala is Alleppey, another of southern India's most prominent tourist destinations. It's mostly a farming city, but it also serves as the gateway to the Kerala backwaters, arguably one of the most beautiful areas in the entire country. But before you set out to explore the backwaters, grab a bite to eat at Brothers Hotel in town. I recommend the fish curry, duck curry, and putu. Another great spot in the area to grab a bite is New York Toli Shop, where you can have a drool-worthy southern Indian seafood feast that includes crab with gravy, stir-fried mussels with chilies and onions, fish fry, putu, and a savory pancake called appam. But of course, the main reason to visit Alleppey is to explore the Kerala backwaters, an extensive network of canals, lakes, rivers, and lagoons that were used by the Portuguese to transport spices back in the 16th century. No trip to the backwaters is complete without staying on a houseboat, which is essentially a floating Airbnb. They range in quality and price, so be sure to do your research before booking. The price will depend on the size of the houseboat and the number of rooms, but it will also cover the cost of all your meals, activities, and the crew. Activity-wise, you'll visit temples and churches along the waterways, local markets, and get to see traditional homes and paddy fields. The food is also spectacular, as it's local and freshly prepared by the onboard cooks. Expect everything from fresh fruit and seafood to banana fry and fried bread to some of the tastiest veg you've ever eaten in your life. For the next place you must visit, we're heading into the interior of Kerala to the Thekari area, which is located in the Idukki district and borders the neighboring state of Kerala. There, you'll find the Periyar Tiger Reserve, a 357 square mile park in Kerala's Western Ghats that's home to a wide variety of wildlife, including 266 species of birds and 35 species of mammals, including tigers, Asian elephants, wild boar, and antelopes. One of the highlights of my stay in the Thekari area is that I had the opportunity to witness the traditional cultural art form called Kathakali at the Kod Adathanan Kalari and Navarasa Kathakali Thekari Theater. It's a form of Hindu performance art and Indian classical dance that combines comedy, exaggerated facial expressions, and elaborate costumes with myths, legends, and live music. At the same complex, you can also witness a traditional martial arts performance called Kalari, which is thought to be India's oldest surviving martial arts form. It combines hyper-athleticism, sword fighting, stick fighting, and fire dancing. As I mentioned earlier, Thekari is located just a stone's throw away from Tamil Nadu, so it's only natural that you'll want to cross the border to explore. The flatlands that lie at the base of the mountain along the border are home to some gorgeous grape vineyards, as well as street vendors who sell coconuts, bananas, and broth alcohol and non-alcoholic wine. When you arrive back in the Thekari area, be sure to try some banana chips at Kirali Chips in the town of Kumali. They're a local specialty and come in several different flavors. When you stay in Thekari, I recommend the Woodnote Resort, which is a comfortable modern hotel that hosts 29 spacious rooms and suites. Their on-site restaurant, Drizzle, is the perfect place to have breakfast and dinner. In the morning, have some delicious southern Indian breakfast of creamy chicken curry and idiyappam, which are also known as stem hoppers and are made up of steamed rice noodles and fresh coconut. And if you're like me, you can also enjoy some incredible dosas with a mouth-watering coconut chutney and a light, flavorful sambar. It was so good. For dinner at
Sounds
Drizzle, I
like
recommend checking out the
Koई kitchen
buffet,
hai Kerala
where you
mein
can
jitte
also
bhai
enjoy
na
a
hoye.
phenomenal Southern Indian feast
Har
for
ek da
the
visit kar
gods.
rahe.
The beef curry with chilies is nothing short of amazing. It's super spicy and had my tongue completely numb by the end of the meal. Thankfully, I could still taste the incredible paneer curry and the rich and flavorful buttered chicken, which were some of the best I've ever had. But by far, the most incredible thing you can experience in Thekedi is to venture into the forested mountains to prepare and enjoy a meal with members of the Manam tribe. This tribe has called the mountains of Kerala home for centuries, and they speak a unique dialect that's actually a mix of Malayalam, Kannada, and Tamil. You'll join them in preparing a traditional meal, which for me included spinach with onions, roasted tapioca, local river fish, chicken curry, and a thick sticky paste called ragi. This is what traveling is all about. Meeting new people, trying new foods, and exposing yourself to new cultures. It's one of my favorite experiences I had in Kerala, and I want you to experience it as well. Up next, we're heading to Munnar, also known as the Kashmir of South India. Munnar is a hill station that lies about 5,200 feet above sea level at the meeting place of three rivers. With its breathtaking scenery, beautiful tea plantations, and stunning mountain vistas, it's no wonder it's a popular honeymoon destination. I recommend checking into the Dreamcatcher Resort, which is about an hour's drive from Munnar town. Their rooms include 4 private tree houses that have their own entrances and look out over a vibrant green tea plantation. One of my favorite experiences in Munnar was the traditional meal I had in the forest clearing high up in the mountains. There, I got to watch locals prepare an incredible feast of beef liver roast, mutton soup, cantari chili prawn, a juicy mutton leg, pumpkin payasam, and lots more. Everything was out of this world, but I couldn't get enough of the masala on the mutton leg. Ooh, so good. It made my lips tingle. When you go to Munnar, you have to explore Munnar town. I recommend heading into town at night so you can explore while checking out some delicious street food. There's a small Hindu temple and an enormous Christian church, as well as several shops where you can buy traditional clothing and headscarves. But the best thing about exploring Munnar at night is the street food. There you can try my favorite Indian street food of all time, Pani Puri, which is a Maharashtrian snack made of hollow, crispy dough balls that are filled with potatoes, chutneys, and spiced water called pani. You can also enjoy some Kamal-style dosas, an amazing chili fry with tapioca, parotas, and appa. Don't miss the homemade chocolate at MSP and Sons, which sells 21 different varieties. Munnar is also home to Kudu Kumalai Tea Plantation, the highest elevated tea plantation in the world. It's located super high in the mountains, close to a viewpoint where you can witness one of the most epic sunrises on Earth. You'll have to wake up at 3 in the morning to see it, as you have to drive 1 hour to Suryana Estate and then another 45 minutes up the mountain. From the top, you'll most likely see a layer of clouds far below you. The clouds will burn off as the sun rises, but not before the sky and clouds are painted in brilliant reds, purples, orange, and golds for several minutes. It was beautiful. After you witness the sunrise, make the drive down to the plantation, where you can go on a tour of the facility, try some locally produced black and lemon tea, and enjoy breakfast of dried fish, dried and fried chilies, and a fermented rice soup with gooseberry pickles and yogurt. As we make our way north along Kerala's Arabian Sea coast, we'll reach the 7th place you must visit in Kerala, the city of Kochi. Kochi is an ancient city that was known by the Chinese, Greeks, Jews, Arabs, and Syrians in antiquity, and it also was an important hub during the spice trade. Its fort, Fort Kochi, was the first European colony in India, and you can still see the old Dutch and British architectural styles in its colonial homes and churches. One of those churches is St. Francis Church, which dates back to 1503 and is one of the oldest European churches in India. Another notable site in the fort is the shoreline, which is home to the world-famous Chinese fishing nets, which hang over the waters and catch everything from fish to prawns to crabs. The local Jew town is another area worth exploring. The roads are extremely narrow, so it's a lot easier and faster to walk than to drive. The area is home to the oldest Jewish synagogue in the Commonwealth nations, as well as lots of craft vendors and textile shops. One of the more unique shops is the SPR Natural Home Fragrances, which sells incredible perfumes and colognes made from pure natural oils. You can also find lots of clothing and souvenir shops that sell statues, wood carvings, masks, brass, and copperwork. The food in Kochi is next level. whether you head out at night to enjoy a phenomenal egg dosa with tomato chutney, sambar, or the earthy mud-baked chicken at Midnight Chicken Restaurant, you'll be in heaven. Some of my personal favorite dishes were the crunchy beef dry fry and the fresh chicken fry I tried at the street stall in that part of the city, as well as the succulent prawn curry I enjoyed at the Upper Bowl restaurant on the rooftop of the Coral Isle Hotel. Trust me, it will blow your taste buds away. Between the cities of Calicut and Kannur, along India's North Malabar coast, is the city of Thalassery. Thalassery is formerly known as Tallicherry and is yet another historical site along the Arabian Sea. The city's most prominent historical attraction is the Tallicherry Fort, which the East Indian Company built back in 1708 to help prevent local attacks against the British. The fort's 10-meter high walls has a lighthouse, soldier barracks, and secret tunnels that lead to the sea. Thalassery's other main attraction is Muzupilangad Drive-In Beach, which is roughly 3 miles long and packed with dense sand that is stable enough to drive on. In fact, it's the largest drive-in beach in Asia. It's also a popular spot where young people try driving stunts along the water's edge. But, as always, the city's magic is in its cuisine, which is stellar. Thalassery is known for its biryani, a layered rice dish that is popular throughout India. The best place in town to try some is the Paris Hotel, where you'll try Thalassery Dum Biryani, which contains ghee rice, coriander, chicken, fried onions, raisins, and more. It's light on spices, but the dry coconut chutney and mango pickle provided on the side add a burst of tropical flavor. Another well-known restaurant in Thalassery is the Bombay Hotel, which serves some of the best string hoppers I've ever eaten. Try them with an equally delicious egg curry, which is made up of juicy tomatoes, roasted onions, and perfectly cooked boiled egg. Mix everything up in your hands and dive in. If you need a cold drink to help you cool down after a long day in the hot Thalassery sun, check out Firu's Cool Bar, where you can get a milky frozen drink called the refreshing blend of papaya, carrots, banana, dried nuts, pomegranate seeds, dried fruit, and milk. If you're in the mood for street food snacks, you can find a bunch of masala-coated french fries and hot milk with semolina and vermicelli noodles at stalls near Thalassery Pier, which dates back to 1910. Of course, you can visit the North Malabar coast in Kerala and now visit the region's largest city, Kannur. Back in the 12th century, Kannur was an important trading post that did business with Persia and Arabia. But today, it's a beautiful port city, which means you'll find tons of fish there. If you want a wild experience in Kannur, head over to any of the city's fish markets. You can watch fish being offloaded from their boats, auctioned, and sold to vendors before they're butchered and purchased again by customers. You can buy all kinds of seafood there and at the harbor, including prawns, marlins, sailfish, and even stingrays. Within the Kannur district, just outside of town, is Sri Subramanya Swami Temple in the town of Payanur. It's one of the district's most sacred sites. You can only go inside if you're Hindu, but you can visit the temple's pond and feed the fish that live there. If you're into culture, the Kannur district is one of the handful of areas in Kerala where you can witness the ritual known as Theyyam. It's an ancient form of ritual worship that takes place in the Kulutunadu area of Kerala between November and February. Some of Theyyam's traditions and customs date back to the start of the Neolithic period. Its worshippers believe the rituals give them a direct channel to God. At the other end of the religious spectrum in Kannur district is one of my personal favorite things I did in Kerala, which is attend an Indian Christian wedding in the nearby city of Kasaragod. There I had an amazing opportunity to watch cooks prepare massive vats of biryani, duck roast masala, chicken 65, beef roast, katunad duck curry, and more before attending the wedding and enjoying a southern Indian feast with 1,500 other guests at the reception afterward. Amazing southern Indian food is never ending in Kannur, from the rich, tropical, and flavorful chicken and egg biryani at Hotel Jaya to the drool-inducing mackerel, mussels, and fish curry at the Malatur Hotel. You can also find outstanding dishes on the street, including a polenta-like beef curry with putu, spicy mussels with tapioca, mutton liver with strips of flatbread called patel, and a meaty stir-fried beef dish called beef chili. You can also enjoy an incredible feast of delicious mussels and southern Indian seafood at the beautiful Seashell Harris Beach Home, and take a day trip to the nearby Union Territory of Mahe to enjoy some alcohol. I recommend the Oro Brandy from Karnataka. Last but not least is the city of Calicut, another historical port city along the North Malabar coast. The city traded with Arab merchants as early as the 7th century, earning it the nickname the City of Spices. Today, Calicut is Kerala's third largest city and boasts an impressive array of places to visit, including the Mishkal Mosque, a medieval mosque that's very unique because it doesn't have a dome or a minaret. For some quality shopping, head over to Kanayeko Bazaar along SM Street, where you can buy a masala-coated snack mix and sweet and tasty halwas, souvenirs, jewelry, and even get a haircut and shave. The head massage I got here was incredible, practically orgasmic. At nearby Kapar Beach, also known as Vasco da Gama Beach, you can see where the famous Portuguese explorer first landed in India on May 17, 1498, making him the first European to discover the sea route between Europe and Asia. Further inland is a pillar-like monument that is dedicated to him and his arrival in India. Like Teleseri and its fellow southern Indian city of Hyderabad, Calicut is famous for its biryani. At Kuta Chira Biryani Center, you can get a taste of Calicut biryani, which contains tomatoes, chilies, garlic, onions, ginger, coriander, cashews, crispy onions, and short grain rice. You can get it with buffalo, fish, or chicken, and it's honestly one of the best biryanis I've ever had. For a different type of biryani, head over to Modern Restaurant, where you can try their mackerel biryani along with their masala-coated squid with shallots and coconuts, and their fried kingfish with curry leaves. If you'd rather have a quick snack, check out the Bombay Hotel, which offers a variety of snacks including bonda, bada, banana fry, surgeon, carrot cake, and even a special layered type of chai called dancing chai. You'll find even more snacks in the Ramat restaurant, including a mashed and stuffed plantain called unakaya, as well as savory dishes like the unreal mussel biryani and the mutton chaps. For street food, head out to Calicut Beach after dark to try the refreshing green pea masala, and then head down the beach to the Shah family restaurant to try their unique cassava biryani and sardine curry. The cassava biryani is a rich and fatty mixture of cassava and beef ribs with no rice at all. Finish up with their unique take on faluda, which is unlike traditional faludas because it's served in a bowl instead of a cup, with fruit, almonds, vermicelli noodles, and wafers. It's topped with an upside-down ice cream cone and is a sweet and wild way to end your time at Kerala. And if you love this video, give me a thumbs up,
Leave a comment below and share this video with all your friends so they can come to Gotham Country. It's a must visit when you travel to India.
काफ़ी अच्छी बड़ी वैसे मैंने तो भुख लग गई इन्नियां सारियां चावां कट्ठियां वेख के मैं हुण ट्राई करनी है बनाना दी चिप्स बना के ते होर बड़ियां बेहतरीन चीज़ां न क्लोज ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਏ ਜੇ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਈ ਤਾਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰੋ शेयर करो सब्सक्राइब करो ਤੇ ਮਿਲਨੇ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਚ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਤੱਕ ਆਪਣਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖੋ